We're going to talk more about this now with Lebanese economist Sami Nader in Beirut. Sami, thank you for taking the time to speak to us. Let's just start with that first strike inside the Beirut city limits that came in almost a year of fighting. What's the feeling like there in Beirut at the moment? How are people coping with all of this?
I mean, people are seeing this as a major step for escalation. There is a deep feeling of fear, of deep anxiety among the people because this is a déjà vu for them, in that sense that they still have in memory what happened in 2006 and what is the impact, the devastating impact of a full-blown war between Israel and Hezbollah. And so today we are in this scenario of a full-blown war, and people are not seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Today, Mr. Naim Qasim's speech, the Nasrallah deputy, we were expecting that he will give a sign that Hezbollah may back the Lebanese government decision to implement the 1701, and nothing of the sort happened. On the opposite, he fought to continue the fight, and meaning to link once more the war that Hezbollah started in October 8th of last year to a ceasefire in Gaza. And this has put things on an escalation track where Israel got the upper hand, because Israel is keeping its military pressure on the group. Unfortunately, the civilians are paying the price. The death toll is huge, far more than what we have seen in 2006. The number of wounded as well. And today there is a big wave of migrants, of displaced from Shia villages in the south and the Bekaa, that is adding up on the wave of Syrian refugees that were the result of the Syria war. So all of this comes at a very critical moment for the Lebanese economy that was in a dire state before the beginning of this war. And now, I mean, the impact is devastating for this country. I'm not sure that Lebanon can get up of this crisis in its the republic as such is at stake.
Sami, you mentioned the Hezbollah deputy who was speaking earlier, saying that Hezbollah is going to elect a new leader, carrying on fighting. I mean, what do people in Lebanon think about Hezbollah? Does the group have general support across the country?
They have their own constituency, their own base of support. But many Lebanese, I would say more than half of the population, are very critical of Hezbollah because they see that this group have built a state inside the state, not to mention a state above a failed state. Secondly, that he's serving the Iranian interest first and not the Lebanese interest, and he's been financed by Iran. So for many reasons, a lot of people are very critical to Hezbollah, but this does not mean that they are supporters of Israel, that they accept Israel blow of Lebanon sovereignty, and they feel solidarity with all the civilians who are paying the price of a war that is not their war.
Sami, as you were saying before, Lebanon today is very different than it was in 2006 at the last war. I mean, not even things like the economic crisis of 2019. There's been COVID, the explosion in Beirut, which destroyed a large part of the capital. I mean, truthfully, what's your feeling now? How can Lebanon come back from all of this?
I mean, this is a big question. As you said, things are radically different from what it was in 2006. First of all, Lebanon is going through a financial crisis. The Lebanese pound has lost 98% of its value. According to the World Bank, 80% of the Lebanese population is living under the line of poverty. Unemployment is skyrocketing. Plus, all the Lebanese people have lost their saving in the banks. So how they can rebuild their houses? They lost their house once, and now they are losing their houses for a second time. Where the money will come from reconstruction, while the coffer of the state are practically empty. The state revenue, who used to be 11 billion, are less than 1 billion today. This to give you, a scope of what's being. And there is no international support as long as Lebanon is not ready to implement the 1701 resolution that is still under the spell of Hezbollah, although it has been degraded. So where the money will come from in order to rebuild all this destruction, no one knows.
Sami, thank you for sharing that with us. That's a Lebanese economist, Sami Nader, speaking to me from Beirut.